Hi y'all, I'm Allison. Today we're going to start like a little experiment for my channel. Originally the video I was going to do was going to be 5 different books by Christina Lauren, but I realized that theme was going to be way too long. And instead of chopping it down to the bare bones or even breaking it into 2 parts, I thought it might be kind of fun to release a different portion of this video every day over the next almost week. So we're going to kick it off today with the first Christina Lauren book that I read. And then tomorrow I'll have another one for you, and so on and so on. Sunday we will break up this little mini marathon with a viewer's version of Just Spin It, Christina Lauren. Christina Thompson will be playing this month. And then I will have my last Christina Lauren book for y'all on Monday. We'll see if this single review is a format y'all like and how it works on my end, and maybe do this again in the future. So be sure and let me know if you like this format or if it's just gets to be too much by the time we reach the end of this little marathon and you're tired of seeing me pop up in your notifications if you do have them on. By the way, thank you for the 50 of you who have hit the little bell for notifications. I really appreciate that. Okay, so enough of my little intro. Let's get into the first book, which is going to be Shortly after discovering booktube, I started hearing about the Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, and I decided to give it a try. I love the bright cherry cover. I think that's what kind of drew me in. This was before I converted my channel over from bullet journaling to books. So my notes aren't quite as extensive as I keep now, so we'll see how well I remember this book. I do know I loved it so much. The day after I finished it, I went to Barnes & Noble and bought every title by this writing duo that I could get my hands on. If you didn't know, Christina Lauren is Christina Hobbs and Lauren Billings. They are best friends and they write their books together, and they're alternating POVs. I would assume one of the ladies writes for one character and one writes for the other. And it is such fun. So in this one, we have a set of twins, Olive and it might be Ami or Amy. Just considering their last name is Hernandez, I would assume it's Ami, because that's how you would pronounce the A in Spanish. But Ami is lucky. She wins sweepstakes, lotteries, draw, all of that stuff. And she's so good at it that she actually manages to finance her wedding through prizes, which may not have turned out to be such a good thing, because at the very beginning, the entire wedding party comes down with food poisoning. Now, Olive, she considers herself the unlucky twin, and she was already dreading having to spend the entire day of the wedding with the groom's best friend, Ethan Thomas, because they are sworn enemies, and she just can't stand being around them. So, Olive finds herself in a little bit of a pickle. She doesn't get food poisoning. I don't believe she ate. I think it was fish that made everybody sick. She doesn't get it, and neither does Ethan. And Ami and her groom, I forget his name, somehow convince Olive and Ethan to go on their Hawaiian honeymoon. So Olive, against her better judgment, decides to go ahead and take this free trip. How many chances are you going to have for a free trip to Hawaii after all? And it goes from there. I absolutely loved this. It was the perfect thing at the time, and it would definitely be a perfect beach read. So if you haven't read this book yet, I would say go out and get it. The enemies to lovers trope is done really well on this. Olive is just adorable. And she has a hard time lying. She's so nervous about, pretending to be her sister. If you're in a slump, this puppy might potentially pull you out of it. It will definitely put a smile on your face. I'm going to check and see if I do have anything worthwhile that I can pass on to y'all. Yeah, before I started my channel, I intentionally kept my notes in my reading journal brief so it wouldn't spoil the future reread. Now it's kind of coming back to bite me because I can't really explain why I loved it. Oh, Ethan is the groom's brother, by the way. So it wasn't his best friend, it was his brother. Which means Ethan and Olive had definitely been thrown together a lot up to the wedding with, family functions and whatnot. So, yeah, she just didn't like him. Yeah, I have it marked as hilarious, heartfelt, swoon-worthy, and unsettling all at once. So, I know I'll be giving it a reread. When I do, I'll be able to give you a little bit more detail on what I loved about it. But just know, if your taste lines up with mine so far, if you've been following me along on my little channel here, thank you, by the way, then grab this book. Loved it. It was a 5. So there you go. Our first Christina Lauren book. Tomorrow I will be back with my favorite Half Nightstand, and we'll look into that book a little closer. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a great one. Bye now.